आज का टॉपिक हमारा है इट इज सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री and it is block 3 of MRD 102. So block 3 is very simple. Archana, especially you go through block 3. Once we finish it off today, you just go through all the chapters. And block 4 is also like MRD 102 is simpler as compared to 101. But 101 के लिए you have time January तक. Okay.
Ma'am, please give the notes.
Notes. Oh, you share your email with me. I'll share the presentation with you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So today's topic is social forestry. What do you understand by that? We'll cover two topics today. एक तो social forestry and other is very simple science and technology in the role of science and technology in rural development. So if you don't study also, then also you can write many points. But yes, you go through the book, so you'll write it in a systematic way. So what is social forestry? Anyone?
मैम जो
बताओ.
समाज में हेलो
हाँ
हेलो
हाँ बोलिए, आवाज आ रही है जय आपकी.
हाँ, जैसे मैम सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री है कि जिससे मतलब किसी गांव में काफी लोग रह रहे हैं, कुछ ऐसे तरीके का फॉरेस्ट करे जिससे इनकम जनरेट हो, तो वो सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री कहलाएगा मेरे हिसाब से, जो प्रैक्टिकली समझ पा रहा हूँ मैं।
तो कैसे करेंगे? मतलब फॉरेस्ट तो है हमारे
हाँ
देश में.
हाँ, तो जैसे मैम,
तो
जैसे मान लीजिए कोई ऐसा पेड़ है, मान लीजिए फल का ही पेड़ है, अगर उसे हम निगरानी नहीं कर रहे हैं, उसका मेंटेनेंस नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो एक तरीके से बेकार जाता है।
हम्म
तो उसको उसको सभी लोग एक तरीके से केयर करें, मैनेज करें, तो एक तरीके से सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री होगा। मतलब जानकारी नहीं है, मैं ऐसे बताना चाह रहा हूँ।
नहीं, सही है, बहुत सही, बहुत कुछ सही है. बट सपोज जंगल तो है हमारे पास, फॉरेस्ट है, तो क्या करेंगे हम? जाके वहां पे निगरानी करेंगे. व्हाट विल डू?
नहीं, जैसे मान लीजिए सोशल है कि अब किसी एक का होगा ना, उसको सेग्रीगेट करेंगे, कितने लोग कहाँ कहाँ पे नहीं रहेंगे, किसी एक का होना भी ठीक नहीं होता, जंगल सबका होता है एक तरीके से। तो एक तरीके से सबके लिए वो फायदेमंद हो, इस तरीके से उसको प्लानिंग करेंगे।
तो ये हम कौन सी जंगल की बात कर रहे हैं? विच जंगल? कौन से फॉरेस्ट की? जो फॉरेस्ट है
मैम
हमारे पास या अलग कुछ है?
जैसे मैम फॉरेस्ट में वो कहीं औषधि होती है, उसमें फल होते हैं, या फिर जो जो यूजफुल चीजें होती हैं, उसी को तो हम एक तरीके से वन बोलेंगे, नहीं तो बाकी तो यूजलेस है।
ठीक. गुड, यू ट्राइड. सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री कन्वेंशनल फॉरेस्ट से उसका लेना देना नहीं है. कन्वेंशनल फॉरेस्ट को उसमें टच नहीं करना होता है. सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री इज अ डिफरेंट टर्म. जो हमारे ऑलरेडी फॉरेस्ट हैं उनको बचाने के लिए, टू सेफ गार्ड देम, उनमें कोई प्रॉब्लम ना आए, उसके लिए ये अप्रोच वाज केम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस, दैट इज सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री. अभी आई शेयर माय स्लाइड, फिर मैं आपको बताती हूँ व्हाट ऑल आर देयर इन सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री. इस टॉपिक द यूनिट 11 is सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री एंड जॉइंट फॉरेस्ट मैनेजमेंट. दोनों इसमें आएंगे. लाइक द सेम थिंग, लाइक उसमें जॉइंटली हाउ पीपल वर्क एंड ऐसे इंडिविजुअली दोनों का ही इट इज मेंशन. So social forestry means making use of unused and fallow land so that deeper forests are safeguarded from exploitation by using fast growing trees to meet the needs of fodder and fuel wood. Like we don't touch the conventional forest जो है हमारे forest. आज सुनते हैं, यू ऑल मस्ट हैव हर्ड कि कितने अब तो बहुत सारे लॉज बन गए हैं, ट्रीज नहीं काटना है एंड ऑल. So to protect them also and to improve the living condition of the rural people also, this social forestry thing came into existence, and government of India focused on the social forestry management. The social forestry can be understood as the use of barren lands and their management and development with afforestation for rural development and environmental benefits. So afforestation is planting, right? So in the not in those areas, of course there also जो प्लांट खराब हो गए हैं, जो मेन फॉरेस्ट ऑल्सो उनमें भी, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट इट इज social for the social cause, so it will happen at social place, right? Social forestry, social area mein forestry, if you remember like that, it will be simple for you. In 1976, the National Commission on Agriculture first used the term social forestry. The government of India has since then started various projects for the development of barren lands, जो खाली land है, जो कुछ काम के नहीं है, like उस वैसे वैसे बहुत सारे लैंड होते हैं, लाइक सम लैंड्स आर अलॉटेड फॉर स्कूल्स इन विलेजेस या फॉर पंचायत्स, ऐसे खाली पड़े हैं. सो मेक यूज ऑफ दोज लैंड्स, जो कॉमन प्रॉपर्टी जो है पब्लिक की, वो उन लैंड्स को, with various social forestry projects. However, the concept of social forestry has ancient origins in the teachings of Buddhism. इस ऐसा नहीं है कि नया concept है. Like every Buddhist was required to plant a tree and take care of it. Similarly, यहाँ पे भी community is planting trees and all, and they are taking care of it at social place, not the conventional forest. The report on the improvement of Indian agriculture 1893 observed for the first time the significance of preserving village forest and the importance of these forests in the contribution of its local economy. So first time it presented a paper जिसमें village forest का importance was like given, why it is important. The term social transforms the mechanical activity afforestation, that is planting, to a concept of planting trees with social, economic and psychological bonds. So at a social plus forestry, for both social, economic, and psychological bonds between people, and they do it for social bond also, for economic upliftment also, and they are connected with each other. This helps in encouraging community participation, which is the major thrust of social forestry, so that the whole community participate and they take care of the plants and trees. Okay. And you all know it is very important for okay, we'll do objectives of social forestry, the to improve the environment for protecting agriculture from adverse climatic factors. Of course, you will, if you plant trees and all, it will help to protect agriculture from like adverse climatic factors, what rainfall कम होना या drought आना and all, floods. Increase the supply of fuel wood for domestic use, small timber plants, like for in social forestry, those plants were taken, those which small timber plants and all, which can grow fast, so that they can be used for rural housing, fodder for livestock, and minor forest produce for local industries, like the bamboos, small, you must have heard of trees, small mango trees, or small guava trees. All those are different trees which give the fruits very fast, or the timber trees, small timber trees, which you can cut after 4 year 5 years, so that it can be used for different purposes, so that it gets matured. Any tree which gets matured early, otherwise the trees which are in main forest, they take 20-25 year times to get matured. Increase the natural beauty of the landscape, create recreational forest for the benefits of rural and urban population, because uh, आजकल आपने सुना होगा कि मेडिटेशन सेंटर एंड ऑल है, जंगल के बीच में है, वहाँ शेर बाघ चीता होगा तो कौन जाएगा? विल यू गो देयर फॉर मेडिटेशन? नो. सो उसके लिए अलग से डेवलप करना, नेचुरल ब्यूटी, पानी के सोर्सेज एंड ऑल बनाना, सो दैट लोग जाएं तो उससे भी दे अर्न. It's economically also they benefit, and people benefit from those areas. Provide jobs for unskilled workers. Those who are not skilled, they can do all these works. Effect land rehabilitation. जो डिप्लीटेड लैंड्स वगैरह है उनको रिहेबिलिट करना, खराब हो गए हैं, उन इन चीज़ों से वो रिहेबिलिट हो जाते हैं. To increase the living standard and improve the lives of people in the rural and urban areas qualitatively, of course money wise improvement hoga, social connection अच्छे होंगे, so they'll have a good social network also, and economic it will uplift the economic standards also. To make the barren land natural beauty and create a forest for the best use of it. So these were the objectives of social forestry, and the important benefits, like any forest will benefit, and social forest like forestry, the main benefits are fight against global warming. Of course, if you plant more and more tree, it fights against that, because it plays a very vital role in removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Areas having trees cover will be much cooler than the areas without it. You all know these very simple things. So to fight against global warming, आजकल आप देख ही रहे हैं, बेमौसम बरसात एंड बेमौसम ठंडा गर्म कुछ भी हो जाता है. All this is result of global warming. Then soil conservation. Soil forestry helps in soil conservation through the following ways, like tree roots. You all must have heard कि जो ट्री रूट्स है वो प्रोटेक्ट करता है, सपोज फ्लड आता है, कुछ भी आता है तो सॉइल बह जाता है साथ साथ, सो इट प्रोटेक्ट्स दैट, उसको रोकता है, preventing by holding the soil in its place. Tree reduces soil erosion by reducing the impact of raindrops on the barren surface. वहाँ पे hold करके रखता है. Then decaying leaves make the soil richer by forming an organic layer on top and reducing the soil erosion. Like जो पत्ते सूख के गिरते हैं, हम घर में भी पीपल से कि जो गिर रहा है टुकड़ा एक जगह इकट्ठा कर दो एंड जस्ट यूज इट एज अ ऑर्गेनिक खाद की तरह, उसको यूज फर्टिलाइजर की तरह यूज हो जाता है. इट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स इन इंक्रीजिंग द कैपेसिटी ऑफ सॉइल इन स्टोरिंग वाटर. जितना प्लांटेशन करेंगे, जितना ट्री, क्योंकि जड़े एब्जॉर्ब्स वाटर, सो इट विल एब्जॉर्ब वाटर, तो आपके जमीन में भी पानी रहेगा. So biodiversity will be increased. Well-grown trees will offer habitation for various animals, plants, shrubs, birds, insects, etc. The trees become a source of food and shelter. जो नॉर्मल जानवर है उनके लिए तो है जंगली ना आए, बट जो हमारे आसपास जो होते हैं बिकम्स अ हैबिटेशन फॉर दोज एनिमल्स एंड इंसेक्ट्स. हेल्थ बेनिफिट्स बाय इम्प्रूविंग एयर क्वालिटी. एयर क्वालिटी इम्प्रूव होता है. Then conservation of energy, it provides a cooling effect to an area. It has been planted, so fan, AC, उसकी consumption कम होगी. आपने सुना होगा लाइक जो सिटीज वगैरह, जो गांव या कुछ नदी किनारे होते हैं, उनका बहुत मतलब वहाँ उतनी गर्मी नहीं होती है, कम पड़ती है. Then social benefit, social forestry helps in the creation of recreation parks, which will help people de-stress due to busy schedule in their lives. We discussed these points earlier also in objectives, and these are the benefits. So you can mix both objectives and benefits. Types of soil forestry. Now we come to the types of what are the different types of soil forestry. क्या क्या हो सकते हैं? First इसमें क्या है? Social. तो first we move to community forestry. What happens in this type of forestry? The government is responsible for providing the seedlings and fertilizers, and the community is responsible for protecting the planted trees. जो भी एरिया मैंने कहा जो बैरन लैंड है, इन रूरल एरियाज, पंचायत का लैंड हो या कोई स्कूल खुला ही नहीं, कभी वो लैंड खाली पड़ा है, मंदिर के लिए लैंड डोनेट होता है, किसी किसी डिफरेंट पर्पस के लिए, बहुत सारे दे आर मेनी बैरन लैंड्स इन विलेजेस, वहाँ पे कम्युनिटी को government provide seeds and fertilizers, and the community is responsible to take the and protect the planted trees, so they take the responsibility. So in community forestry, this forestry is done on community land and not on individual land, like as I said, जो land barren पड़े हैं on that, not on individual particular किसी person के land पे. विल मूव ऑन, उसमें इंडिविजुअल लैंड्स पे भी है, बट इन कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट्री इट इज द कम्युनिटी लैंड. It helps provide benefits to the entire community and not to a single person. So the whole community benefits, अलग अलग पेड़ पौधे सब होंगे तो they all gets benefits of out of that. Government either buys also from them. Suppose they even now a new scheme has come up that if you have land, so government, you just plant trees in that and government will take care of that. Suppose you have 5 kathas of land and you plant tree in that, the government will take care of that. You don't have to like take tension if you are not staying in that place, your land is barren, so the government will take care of that. So I think all this come under social forestation only. The purpose is to boost the involvement and reward local people. This is village level forestry activity. So whatever produce is there on the from these plantation and all, that will be divided among the villagers as a whole. It is not that one individual will benefit from that. For example, eucalyptus tree has been planted on the community land, which benefits community in twofold way. They use it for plantation sustainably or sell the trees for one-time benefits. So whatever benefit either by selling or by using, it is divided among all. Second is agroforestry. That is the commonly used definition of agroforestry. Agroforestry is a collective name for the land use system in which woody perennials, trees, shrubs, etc. are grown in association with herbaceous plants, crop, pastures, or livestock. Like both the things are grown together in spatial arrangement or rotation or both. Either they are grown in rotation or at the same time. There are usually like where the farmers, if they have big land, a very small land, it is not possible to do all the activities, but if they have big land area, they can plant trees also, they can grow crops also together or time to time in rotation also, small shrubs and all. There are usually both ecological and economic interaction, like both the things together. It is helping in maintaining ecological balance also and helping to uplift the economic condition also of the poor people of rural areas. Between the trees and other components of the system, recognizing agroforestry as a viable venture, many business corporations limited companies such as ITC, Vimco, West Coast Paper Mills Limited, Hindustan Paper Mills Limited, and other institutions initiated agroforestry research with emphasis on production of improved planting material of the fast growing species with an objective to meet the demand of wood based industries. So they conducted research on fast growing species, and generally in this social forestry, fast growing species are used, fast growing plants, trees which grows fast, not at a very slow pace, otherwise no, there will be no benefit. So to meet the demand of wood based industries without damaging the main forest. These trees will be grown here, the fast growing species, and that will be used for the wood like wood furnitures and all. Anything which requires wood, any industry which requires wood, which makes wooden product, that can be used there, or any industry where wood is required. The agroforestry program in India was started in the late 1970s as a component of social forestry program. The government promoted agroforestry system that included fast-growing species like eucalyptus, poplar, sub-label, cereals, etc. India launched the National Agroforestry Policy in 2014 and became the first country in the world to have a national agroforestry policy. I think after Modi government came in, this first time the agroforestry policy in 2014 it was launched. The policy is not only seen as a crucial to India's ambitious goal of achieving 33% tree cover, but also to mitigate GHG emissions from the agriculture sector. So. It's very ambitious goal, and it will be covering 33% tree. After launching the NAP in 2014, considerable progress has been made in terms of putting it into practice. Department of Agriculture Cooperation and Farmers Welfare DAC and FW under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare MOA and FW is also playing a significant role in the promotion of agroforestry. It has taken a policy decision to include trees in all its programs, and this will significantly increase tree planting on farms, especially under schemes funded by the National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture NMSA. सो आप सुना भी होगा बीच बीच में हर टाइम देर इज लाइक होता रहता है ट्री प्लांटिंग. तो ट्री प्लांटेशन इज मेन फोकस because the damage which has been caused due to the cutting of the forest is too much, and to avoid this global warming, to prevent that, this is very important, and for overall like in rural development also it is important. So these afforestation is very important from all the aspects. This has so far approved the funding of 80,000 HA of new agroforestry projects. So 80,000 new agroforestry project को हरा झंडा दिखाया है. Efforts are on to issue guideline on the production. So how much to be produced and how much not. So agroforestry is further divided into two part, like it means cultivation of crops and growing of trees and shrubs at the same time, or in the rotation wise. So agri silviculture is a mixture of and trees, like home gardens do you have अमरूद का पेड़ भी है, vegetable भी लगा रहे हैं, so similar to that. Then silvopastoral, a mixture of forestry and domestic animals grazing on pastures or on farms. Like animal को भी तो चारा चाहिए, for that also, and for and plantation of tree also. Then agro silvo pastoral, mixed use of trees, animals and crops. So all the trees on the same land. Basically it all depends on the size of land. So agri silviculture is very easy to those who have small lands, but silvo pastoral on a much bigger land. Then agro silvo pastoral can be used on the lands which are very big. So all the trees can be all the three activity can be done on the same land. Then benefits of agroforestry, social benefits. Not only agroforestry, these benefits are for all the schemes. all the types of forestry. Social benefit, it helps to improve the farmers living standard by increasing health and nutrition standards due to the quality of output received in food and increased income. So they are getting good quality food also, and income is also increased because they are doing two things at the same time. It helps in reducing the unemployment rates in rural and urban areas, because those who are working on farms, they are employing also. The task is the earlier which they used to do single handedly, maybe they require more people to work on their farms. And developing beautiful landscapes for recreation like picnics, joggings, relaxation, education, etc., have been named recreation forestry. And you must have seen like jogging, walking plaza is developed and चारों तरफ उसके पेड़ है, कहीं relaxation yoga center, कहीं कुछ meditation, so all these. And this is one of the very good source of income also. People pays thousands of rupees for a 1 week program, 2 week program. Under this system, wood lots have been created in village common lands, government wastelands, panchayati raj lands, and urban areas. Urban areas means those who are like outskirt, you can say, of urban areas. B, environmental benefits. It helps in improving the quality of land by improving the soil, which we did it. It helps to reduce the pressure on forest, which was earlier existed naturally. It enriches soil nutrition. It helps protect the environment and ecological system in a better. Just give me a second. Huh? I'll just close the. Okay. It has this forestry helps fight the increasing threat of climate change also. So we discussed all the benefits, environmental benefits, then economic benefits. Single cropping may lead to crop failure. Suppose आपने सुना भी है किसानों को आत्महत्या करते because उनका पूरा पूरा crop fail हो गया. So what they will do? So several times, but agroforestry may help to reduce the total crop failure. जो total loss होगा, इसमें एक में loss नहीं होगा, तो they'll have like it will balance their income. Economically benefits the farmers, communities, and many others by the greater output of fertilizers, timber, fuel wood, food, etc. It helps in the increment of farmers' income due to the extra sustainable production, and generation of employment and various other opportunities are open for the rural areas. It may help to achieve the vision of doubling the farmers' income by 2022, which in turn will make villages and towns prosperous and sustainable for the upcoming generation. As I said, सरकार बहुत जगह in urban areas, government is taking care of the trees which is planted by you, and in village areas the community as whole takes up the responsibility and they benefit by it, and even on their individual farms they are conducting agroforestry. Then is extension forestry is increasingly becoming common in urban centers and most living estates. It involves planting trees on the side of canals, roads, railways, and wastelands. This type of social forestry is beneficial in creating forest on the common village lands, panchayat roads, and government wastelands. Then urban forestry, it is the practice of growing and managing trees on privately or publicly owned lands around the urban area. जो मैंने अभी आपको बताया नया स्कीम है गवर्नमेंट, like they take care of your plants, उसको पानी देने से लेके it is the responsibility of government. But yes, if you want to sell it, you can't sell it anytime. For that you'll have to take permission and then you can sell. For the sustainable development and environmental benefits of urban areas, it involves the growth of single and multiple groups of trees, the management, planting, and maintenance of various species of trees at the outskirts of the an urban settlement are included in this. So these are the types of. One more is there, of course, farm forestry. Uh, I think we did it. Farm forestry incorporates commercial trees growing into farming system and includes plantation and native forest on farms. By careful planning and location in the landscape, farm forestry can, like farm forestry में commercial trees, those rubber plants and all which are commercial trees, timber and all growing into farming system and includes plantation and native forest on farms. नेटिव फॉरेस्ट को भी उसमें लाइक फॉरेस्ट जो हमारे नेटिव फॉरेस्ट थे सो कन्वेंशनल टाइप सो टू create such type of thing on farms with fast growing species. By careful planning and location in the landscape, farm forestry can simultaneously address multiple NRM issues, making it a cost effective public investment, provide landholders with an alternative source of income from wood and non-wood products. This is again the same, like government paying for it, and उस 10 साल 20 साल सागवान शीशम का पेड़ it grows and then they sell it off, so they you get the share out of it. Improve agricultural production by providing shelter for livestock and crops. So improve agriculture production also. Individual farmers are encouraged to plant trees in their own farmlands to meet the market requirements of wood products. In the five of the states, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Orissa, and Karnataka, tree growing cooperative has been developed on the line of an and cooperative pattern. So, tree in these states it has been developed cooperative society. The village wasteland are taken on a long lease, and trees and fodder crops are planted by the members of cooperatives. So the wasteland are taken on lease. Lease 10 साल 20 साल 30 साल whatever tenure they'll decide on paper, and they take it on lease. घर भी आपने सुना होगा 90 साल के लीज पे होता है. So similarly they take it on a like they won't become the owner of that, but they'll take for some time. Farm forestry cooperatives aim at establishing integrative farming system, including agroforestry and animal husbandry, livestock, poultry, piggery, etc. The main objective of these cooperatives are to develop farm forestry on a large scale on wasteland to bring ecological balance and to conserve soil and moisture. So the individual they do grow on their individual land, the to me like small timber plant and all, and and they do agriculture also. It is almost same like agro forestry, but cooperatives here are made and they grow trees as well as they promote animal husbandry, livestock, poultry and all, so that the farm forestry it grows on a larger scale. It has been encouraged for commercial and non-commercial purposes across India. Farmers have been encouraged for planting trees on their farmland for catering to the domestic needs of their households. In certain areas of the country, farm forestry is followed as a tradition. In most areas today, the thrust of farm forestry is non-commercial in nature, that is, for their own use. Though fuel wood has been an important resource generated from farm forestry, at times there is no economic motive and other benefit can be listed as shade for agricultural crops. They can make shade, right? Like in Himachal, I always talk because I'm here. So यहाँ पे people they do grow crops on the same land. They do have trees also. They have cattle also. So their cattle graze there also. They grow trees also. They have do grow crops also, and that they all use it for their own purpose. So if they grow timber or any other wood. uh, Mango tree ka wood is also used, any other tree also. Shade for agriculture crops, they can make shade for that. Shelters from wind, they can do that. Conservation of soil, it helps that. And effective use of land, and they can use wood for self use also. Okay, so this were the different types of social forestry. And now we move on to social forestry schemes. I got an article, so I wanted to share it with you. I shared it. It is mostly related to urban area, but you should know. It was posted on 28 March 2022 by PIB Delhi. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change encourage its plantation in the country, including various metropolitan cities, through programs and schemes such as Nagar Van Yojana, School Nursery Yojana, स्कूल में भी प्लांट लगाना, compensatory afforestation, fund management and planning authorities, CAMP, National Afforestation Program, NAP, National Mission for a Green India, GIM, etc., which promotes urban forestry, tree plantation on vacant lands and bunds on farmlands, etc., by involving local communities, NGOs, educational institutions, local bodies, etc. Because आपने देखा न स्कूल नर्सरी योजना, सो स्कूल विल पार्टिसिपेट, जो भी स्कूल हैं सारे स्कूल अपने अपने में बच्चों से एक एक प्लांट लगवा दिया, चारों तरफ से बड़े बड़े बिल्डिंग होते हैं बहुत सारे स्कूल्स के. सो basically to involve them all. NGOs, they do plantation many a time. So all the local bodies involved. In specific respect to urban areas, the ministry is implementing the Nagar Van Yojana, the scheme initiated for creation of Nagar Van, city forest, in a very new term, in urban areas over a period of 5 years at a total estimated cost of rupees 895 crore under the National Fund of the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority. A total of 65 Nagar One project in 22 states have been approved for implementation so far under NVY. सो नगर वन का वन तो नहीं बना देंगे कि हर जगह पेड़ लगा देंगे. सो अलग अलग जगह जो खाली लैंड है, स्कूल है, सब जो साइड लैंड्स हैं और पानी के किनारे, रोड के किनारे, अलग अलग जगहों पे वेयर ट्रीज कैन बी planted. So this is Nagar Van Yojana. The following additional steps taken by the government contribute to protection and development of forest areas in the country, including the metropolitan cities. बहुत सारे cities में भी जंगल का एक क्षेत्र आता है. To protect and develop also that, वहाँ पे भी जो खराब हो गए trees, वहाँ तो replanting and all was focused under all the schemes. It is that conventional forest is protected and plantation is done there also, but not for commercial use or for any individual use. Then next is for preservation and protection of forest and wildlife. Various laws, including the Conservation Act, 1980, Indian Forest Act 1927, Wildlife Protection Act 1972, and other central state laws are applicable to a state union territory as it are implemented by the respective state government union territory administration. The ministry also provides financial support to the states union territory under Forest Fire Prevention and Management Scheme for protection against forest fires. तो आपने लॉज तो बहुत बने हैं टू प्रोटेक्ट forest and wildlife. The ministry has implemented National Afforestation Program (NAP) for tree plantation in degraded forest, जो खराब हो रहे हैं forest, through people participation, which has been merged with National Mission for a Green India (GIM), under which, in addition to other submission, there is a specific submission for enhancing tree cover in urban and peri-urban areas. An area of over 2 million hectare was sanctioned for taking up afforestation in the states as union territories, UTs, with an investment of about 3936 crores till 2020-21 under NAP since its launching year 2000. Under GIM, an amount of rupees 455 crore has been released to states and union territories since 2015-16 to 2020-21 to plant more and more tree for the plantation in the degraded forest. जो फॉरेस्ट बहुत सारे कट गए, खराब हो गए, कहीं जंगल फायर से नुकसान हो गया, to protect all those forests and to like rehabilitate them. Urban forestry is a permissible activity under the provision of Compensatory Fund Act 2016 and the rules made thereunder. The Government of India has disbursed an amount of rupees 48,606 crore from National Fund to 32 state funds as share of respective states as per Compensatory Fund Act 2016. कंपेंसेंट्री क्यों बोला? बिकॉज हमने लॉस किया है, सो इट इज अ कंपेंसेंट्री फंड. As per information received from Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs under Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, Amrut, 1864 number of parks over 3794 acres of land have been developed in the mission cities. आपने देखा होगा बीच में बहुत सारे cities में बहुत सारे पार्क बनाए गए, डेवलप किया गया. आज बहुत सारे सिटीज में पार्क्स, बहुत एक ही सिटी में अनगिनत पार्क हैं जिनको डेवलप किया गया है. Further, tree plantation being a multi-departmental, multi-agency activity are also being taken up cross-sectorally under various programs, funding sources of other ministries, organization and also through state plan budget. तो उसमें सबने contribute कर रहे हैं इसमें because it is a multi-department and multi-agency activity. And forestry activities since independence falls into three categories. पहला था वन महोत्सव movement which fails to gain momentum, the initial phase. Second phase was when farm forestry was promoted in some of the state in 70s. And third phase has been the large scale social forestry activity started during the 80s with massive aid programs. As any other schemes, the best part of your this chapter from your point of view also that इसमें बहुत सारे policy and वो याद नहीं करना है. So those who are appearing for exam, please go through it आज के आज and make notes of it. Drawbacks: most social forestry products, however, came under increasing criticism. The reason behind they fail to adequately involve the local communities and the rural poor, the main beneficiary instead. Like it was meant to help the rural poor, but it couldn't help them. Instead, these projects catered mainly to urban and commercial interests through the widespread promotion of fast-growing tree species for pulp and paper manufacture, rain production, urban fuel wood supply and other commercial uses. So mostly commercial purpose, the people, those who are not poor, they couldn't benefit, and those who are well off, they only benefited more from it. On the management front, the main drawbacks included a greater emphasis on silviculture, lack of the required extension work, involvement of people and Panchayati Raj institution, commensurate modification in the forest regulation and to motivate people to grow tree. So there has to be, nowadays you must have heard of many awareness campaign going on and all. So it is working. It is not that it has not worked at all, but not to that extent. And that of orientation for the grassroots functionaries toward the needs of social forestry. So they were not well oriented, those who were working at grassroots level. Maybe they were not well aware of the objectives only. So all these could must have happened. Many socio-economic issues of vital importance, such as socio-cultural and economic structures of a village community, which were overlooked during the planning process, later became constraints or limiting factor to the successful implementation of community development projects. So socio-economic condition, they were not taken into account. Like agricultural land was diverted to forestry in lieu of incentives, which compromised food security and agriculture. So many people, they for earning more income, they started growing more trees and all on their land. So finally, what happened on a large scale, the it reduced agriculture productivity and food security. Like if you don't have food, you don't, that security is lost, right? Due to lack of understanding and expertise, social forestry plantation opted for species not suitable for that particular ecological settings. So maybe because of lack of research, which nowadays they are happening. So many species were planted in a place, at a place which was not fit for that. Ecologically, it was not good for that place. Social forestry is often not preferred by Indian farmers due to the small size of holdings with them. अब छोटा सा खेत है, उसमें क्या क्या करेंगे? The main question, if they are not part of community programs. Even community programs had flowbacks. सबने contribute नहीं किया, किसी ने ध्यान नहीं दिया. So lots of things, lots of problems. The social forestry produce is neither under any agricultural insurance scheme to cover for losses, nor does it get any kind of marketing support. So this is very like, if you don't get market for the product, support, market is there, but that's that support which a poor farmer, illiterate farmer, they require that support, but that was not there. Timber लगा तो लिया, timber को कैसे बेचे, कहाँ बेचे, क्या करें, इसका क्या यूज होगा? तो या रबर के प्लांट को लगाया है, उसको कैसे यूज करें, क्या करें? सो ऑल दोज थिंग्स, दैट गैप वाज, द बिग गैप वाज देयर. Such policy gaps discourage social forestry. Social forestry is largely promoted by the government, but private sector participation is lacking. So uh, we did it right na? Okay. So this was about social forestry, its type, its benefits, and other schemes. Now we are moving on joint forest management. What is that? Any one of you? It is a part of it only. So what is that? Joint means what? Are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
So joint forest management, what is that?
Hello. Hello.
क्या होता है joint forest management? Because
Joint forest management means the whatever be the forest is available
हाँ.
that are managed and developed by government agency and local agency or local people.
Yes, very nice. So this is all the crux of this thing. Just we'll go through once. So the same thing is being done, social forestry, but with the joint effort of government and the people. So they are getting many benefits from the government side. Governments are promoting their like earlier we found the drawbacks of they didn't get market for that to marketing thing. Then for seats and all, though it was earlier also, but now it is done on a larger scale. Then a decentralization of power at grassroots level also. So all these are done under joint forest management. So Indian forest cover about six 33400 square kilometer, or almost 1/5 of the national land area. However, about 42% of this patch is patchy or degraded. 42% patchy in the sense cut के the patches यहाँ पेड़ है वहाँ नहीं है, यहाँ पेड़ है वहाँ नहीं है. So and degrade भी हो गया है because of it is not cared for बहुत जगह. All forest land is state owned apart from small areas which are community or privately owned. Very small area. About 200 million of Indian population of around 1 billion are partially or wholly dependent on forest resources for their livelihoods. 200 million people are dependent on forest resources for their livelihood. चाहे वो जंगल से लकड़ी बीन के लाते होंगे या अपने जानवरों को छोड़ते होंगे वहाँ पे टू ग्रेज करने के लिए, और कुछ भी वहाँ से चीजें इकट्ठे करते होंगे. Different things, like they are totally dependent on that 200 million people for their livelihood. There are strong correlations between the locations of tribal people, high poverty areas, and forest. So that they do have a strong relations, uh, especially tribal peoples. जंगलों में ही रहते हैं and they are dependent on जंगल के हर fruit, खाना पीना, everything. Then हाँ, अब तो of course उतने जंगल में नहीं है, but still there are many groups, tribal groups. They are totally staying in forest only. High poverty areas and forest. Pressures from forest dependent people cause much forest degradation, because the more pressure it has, it causes degradation. However, the overall process of degradation occurs through a series of human interventions with multiple actions, including the forest industry involving in distributing the same area of forest at different points in time. With the forest policy of 1988, a radical shift occurred, with conservation becoming a priority, along with an emphasis on meeting the subsistence requirements of forest dependent people. So, forest policy of 1988 focused on that. Joint forest management subsequently emerged, requiring forests to be protected and managed through partnership. Forests to be protected, first objective, and second objective is managed through partnership between forest departments and communities. uh, uh, so if you define, it's very simple, because it requires forest protection. So objective भी हो गया, and then joint effort uh, between forest departments and communities. Over last 12 years, these groups have jostled for position of influence, attempting variously to fulfill or subvert implementation of the pro-poor forest policy. India has some 2 lakh forest in fringe villages having a population of over 75 million people. Forest काट काट के लोग घर बना बना के रह रहे हैं. So there are 75 million people are residing that ways. India's forest support some 270 million cattle grades, of whom affect 75% of forest cover. So those who are dependent on forest for grazing, for other products, so of course it is damaging forest. It is a partnership arrangement जो इसका definition है between the forest department, the legal owner. The legal owner of forest are the forest department and the local communities. Through an arrangement, the local communities assume the responsibility to protect and manage the forest, and in return for this, they are given access to the product जो भी फॉरेस्ट में विच आर ग्रोन, सपोज फ्रूट्स एंड ऑल भी हो रहा है, या बहुत बार छाल निकाल के उससे कुछ बनता है. सो जो भी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, एंड शेयर द इनकम फ्रॉम दैट एरिया, वट एवर इनकम दे गेट फ्रॉम दैट एरिया. बहुत बार फॉरेस्ट में ये जो अलग अलग सोर्सेज हो सकते हैं इनकम के. सो जो भी इनकम आता है फ्रॉम द फॉरेस्ट, टूरिस्ट लोग जाते हैं फॉर, सो दोज वट एवर इनकम कम फ्रॉम द फॉरेस्ट, it is being shared between them and the community as a whole. So, basis of joint forest management, JFM drives its grounding from the National Forest Policy 1988, which besides the basic conservation, aims for massive afforestation and social forestry management. So, plant more and more plantation and managing social forestry management, and meeting the requirements of the fuel wood, fodder, minor forest produce, and small timber of the rural and tribal population. The objective of National Forest Policy 1988 clearly point out the need or a community-based local forest management approach, especially to meet the other objectives of the local subsistence need, जो वहाँ के लोगों की रिक्वायरमेंट को पूरी करने के लिए फॉर देयर लाइवलीहुड, एक्सपेंडिंग forest cover to expand more, environment and forest product, whatever is being forest product जो यूकेलिप्टस का जैसे प्लांट है, इट इज यूज फॉर मेडिसिन प्रोडक्शन, या नीम के पत्ते, नीम का पेड़, so forest products. Also, this policy recognizes the intrinsic relationship of the tribal people with the forest and entrusted tasks to all the agencies responsible for the forest management, including forest development corporations, that they should be associated with the tribal people closely in the protection, regeneration, and development of forest. So, in connection with the tribal people, they will be doing these tasks. So, these are the three objectives: protection, regeneration, and development of forest. So, the three tasks of joint forest management is this: objective, task, whatever, approach, as well as to provide gainful employment. And the fourth is to provide gainful employment to the people living in and around the forest, and getting them the basic needs also you can add in this. Subsequent guidelines for JFM were released by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in June 1990, February 2000, and December 2002. The main highlights of these guidelines are a legal backup to the JFM committee by registration, uniformity in names, expansion of membership, and MOU between the state government and JFM committees. So JFM committee जो बनेगा तो register that between the forest department and local community के बीच में जो भी group होगा, they'll have to register and expand करना होगा membership, then MOU between state government and the state in which the forest is located, and between the JFM committee. Memorandum of Understanding to promote the participation of women by including them at different levels of the governing body, extending the reach of JFM to the good forest areas, also along with degraded forest areas. So it is not that good forest areas need not to be protected or it need not to be developed. Guidance for micro level planning and guidance for conflict resolution, a better relationship with the Panchayati Raj institution, and capacity building for non timber forest products, especially in wood forest areas. Base for the JFM structure, which comprises village level institution, is referred to as forest protection committees. These bodies include a general body and a core executive or the management committee MC elected by the general body for discharging the assigned functions. The general body comprises eligible members of the village. The eligibility criteria for the membership vary from state to state. In most states, adults are eligible for joining the general body. The general body elects the local community representatives in the executive committee. The executive committee has elected members ranging in numbers from 5 to 15. It also includes the ex officio non-elected members drawn from the forest departments, local NGOs, village schools, village administrative and development officers, and in some cases representatives of the gram or mandal panchayats. So this is the structure. Panchayati Raj institution, was involved in that. The new forest policy of 1988 marks a significant departure from the earlier stand of maintaining forest a state affair to the involvement of communities in maintenance, management, and restoration at the grassroots level. Similarly, Panchayat extension to the sec- Secluded Areas Act 1996 extended PRIs to the tribal dominated district of the different state, and in tune with the NFM it enables them to assure control over their own destiny to preserve and conserve their traditional rights over natural resources. So Panchayati Raj of that area, uh, they like they took the responsibility, they were responsible to protect the rights and preserve the natural resources. Then participation of women, the guidelines called for 15% of the JFMC MC general body members to be women, and also required 50% of the women members to be present for a general body meeting. Further, the guidelines also laid down that the management committee or the executive committee should have 33% of their membership from women general body to empower women. This and especially in those areas which are mostly tribal, it was very important to empower women. So these guidelines were given. The quorum for holding meetings for the committee should be one third of women executive members or a minimum of one, whichever is more. So without women, it couldn't happen any meeting. Further, one of the office bearers of the MC had to be women. Okay. So this is all for social forestation. Anything, any question from your side? Are you all there?
Yes.
Okay. Good. They are all waving hand. Technology. Okay. So our next is very simple. We'll just go through like role of technology in the rural development. Your unit, like block 3 of MRD 102 is very easy as compared to others, because you don't have to remember lots of policies, names and all. It is easy. Just go through that. और कौन कौन एग्जाम दे रहा है apart from Archana in December? No one. Okay.
Actually, I tried, and in the morning also I
No,
wrote to
you
you.
can't. You
Yeah,
can't because you will be completing your 1 year in June. Then only, because it is an like a postgraduate program, right? It is not
yeah,
semester based. That's why.
yeah, yeah, fine.
But you all are doing your activities assigned to you.
No, ma'am, because yesterday my exam was till yesterday, so I will plan from next day.
Fine, fine. So you are appearing for exam, Ajay, in December?
No, ma'am, I did not apply because I am preparing for some competition exam, but I will study because this rural development scheme are very useful that comes in the competition exams.
Okay, fine, fine. Then it's wonderful. Okay, like all others, they I have divided group. Guru, you are not in any of the group, right? Guru, are you there? I think he left. Okay, we'll meet after 10 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, once write a subject code and a block code, which should we should assign work. I
Your
am
name
confused.
is written like group. You are in group B.
No, group four. Group number four.
That means MRD 101 block 4.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, okay, understood.
Guru, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
So, Guru, I'll try to find one more person to help you out. Can you work on like MRD 103 only?
Yes, yes, I can. I can.
Sorry, MRZ 102 block 3, which I am doing, which I did yesterday, and I'll now today it will be over. So it is simple. That's why I'm asking. You are alone. You're not in any of the group. Can you work on that? Just find out the questions, and answer is simple. They can find their on their own also. But if you can make right few answers for them, and it will be helpful for you also, and those who are appearing, because the first paper is MRD 102.
Yes, I can help, but probably in the next way, because from tomorrow onwards I'm traveling to the another business, so that I could not be available till Friday or till Saturday.
No, Matt, doesn't matter. Just you do it and share it next week. Doesn't matter because it is in first week of December. Exam is in first week of December. They'll get the notes for that block, so they'll be mentally free from that.
Okay. Okay. MRD, just I would like to take a note. MRD 103.
103 to block 3.
102 block 3.
Which is one chap. This is social forestation is part of that.
Yes.
Technology is part of that, which is simple. They can do on their own also. And the first two block they do have some policies. So try to find out the questions. And doesn't matter how many you answer. If you answer 4 5 also good enough. Which all are doing. So you do it as your part.
So I think I need to check 5 years questions, previous year
Yeah,
question.
5 years question. That is good enough.
Okay, okay. I'm trying to find out the questions and write also by the next week. It will be published through in the
Sure,
app.
sure. Plus, do share so that it help your friends.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
I'll do.
thank you. We'll take a break for 10 minutes and then we'll meet again.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.